Our mission is to lead the way toward a compassionate and caring community for all animals. We have a host of services that help us towards that mission. I think the one that most people kind of associate with Pasadena Humane is, of course, our adoptions program. We do thousands of adoptions every year for people all over the Southland. To go along with that, we have so many other programs that we offer to the community. We have a spay-neuter clinic, vaccinations, microchips. We, of course, do lost and found in Pasadena and our other service cities. We have wildlife services where we care for and rehabilitate injured and orphaned wildlife. So on the night of the 7th, we knew right away that we were going to be needed. We had animal control officers here at the shelter standing by. We immediately just started taking in animals. You know, we do take in animals like every single day, so that the process is exactly the same. But we were able to be creative about housing right away and really be there for the community as soon as it was needed. There were so many unexpecteds in this situation. We always say that we are able to take in any animal that comes to our door. With the variety of animals that we had to take in were definitely a challenge. It was almost like Noah's Ark, just the different species of animals that we had to figure out where to house. And it was a real challenge, but we rose to it. Over the course of the fire, from the time it started to the time it was extinguished, we brought in almost 1,500 animals into the shelter. And that includes wildlife, that includes a lot of animals that were evacuated and their people brought them to us so we could hang on to them as an emergency boarding situation. And then a vast number of strays who maybe had gotten away. The night of the fire, the winds were 100 miles an hour. So there was fences being knocked over and doors being blown open. There were a lot that were injured. We brought in, through our animal control efforts and through partnering with other animal shelters who had specifically fire-trained personnel, we were able to be in the field very, very quickly, helping animals who were in dire straits. Our animal ICU, it was full right from the first night. We treated a lot of animals for burns, for smoke inhalation, for dehydration, many of whom survived because people were really quick thinking and able to get animals to us very, very quickly. But even to this day, and now we're 2 months later, we're still caring for a handful of animals who were severely burned during the fire, and they're recovering here, and we're going to make sure they're 100% before we return them back to their families. On our website, we have a pretty easy way to find any animal that is in the shelter. We have a link right on the very top bar for viewing lost pets. But it was really helpful during the fire because people not knowing if their animals survived or if they were here, it was a resource that we were constantly pointing to, hey, we're updating this all the time. Please keep checking for your lost pets. And ultimately, it does help people, even if it's days or weeks later, to reconnect. We helped a lot of animals that just simply couldn't be evacuated. During the fire, we were able to go to those locations and provide food and water and monitor and make sure that all the animals were safe. And we called it sheltering in place, but that was another nearly 1,000 animals that we helped that didn't come into the shelter, that as soon as their families were able to safely go to them, they did. But for weeks, people couldn't get to their homes. That was a key component of our disaster response. Right from the start, when people knew that we were out there helping the animals in our community, they wanted to help in whatever way they could. So right away, the mid-afternoon on the 8th, we put a plea on our social media. And the morning of the 9th, we had a line of cars on Raymond with people donating not only those 3 things, but food, supplies, leashes, bowls, collars, anything that we could possibly ask for, the community gave 100 times over. And with that, people were contacting us right from the start. How can I help? I want to come volunteer. I want to help you help the animals in our community. We really need people to step up and adopt and keep coming back and adopting. We were just started this Up promotion now. We're going to be promoting the dogs as available for adoption kind of all year long until we're kind of at a place where most of the dogs in our care have gone back home. So we really need people to step up. And that same goes with fostering. We have a robust foster program which allows people to take dogs off of our hands in one sense, so they're not on site. We're of course still providing care, food, behavior training, that kind of thing. But if you can open your home to a foster dog, that really helps us. Please come down and take one off our hands. All of the animals here appreciate it, and all the people here appreciate it too. One of the things that all of us who work here are especially proud of is how we are here for our community. And that, I think it was amplified by the fire, but for anyone who's ever lost a pet in Pasadena and had to come reclaim the animal at the shelter, anyone who's looking for a new family member, anyone who needs to pop in and get a couple things from our shelter shop, or needs vaccines, or needs pet food, or any of the other services that we provide, I don't know, it's just good to know that we are here, and we have been here for 120 something years, and we're going to be here for the next 120 more. Pasadena is such an amazing community, and we're lucky to be here, but I feel like community is also lucky to have us. It's a real great partnership.